Hey guys, it's James again with an episode of Bartender Basics. Today we're going to go over bar tools and what's kind of important, what's not so important, and what is important to have in your little cocktail cabinet. So for starters, we're going to talk about the mixing glass. It's not something I own because I don't personally find it that useful, but you'll see bartenders use it at cocktail mixology bars. It's like a large glass, tall, wide, round with a little pour spout. Honestly, just find yourself like a large round glass of your own. Mix it up. It's good enough for me. Maybe it's good enough for you. Maybe you like to be fancy. I don't know. That's not so important. The spoon, on the other hand, is important. So this is a cocktail spoon. It has lots and lots of uses. Now you'll see a few different types of spoons. Usually they're about 12 inches long, 12 to 14 inches. Now mine has just a normal end on it, but sometimes you'll see the little prong. I've never used that, but I think it's really just to like poke fruit and stuff. I don't think there's any other use for it. The second one you'll see is kind of like a flat base, and you'll see the spoon stand up. That's actually meant to be, I believe, a muddler. I've never used it as such. So for me, just a traditional bar spoon is good enough for me. Also, sometimes you'll see the really long ones. Again, not really sure why that's necessary, maybe for sword fighting. But now, what you can use this for, the spoon itself can be used to put like a little splash of something if you're just trying to put like a whisper of something in a drink. And then when you use your cocktail spoon, you're gonna, there's a few ways to hold it. The 2-finger way is the traditional one, but realistically it's about getting that spoon kind of circling around the glass like that, right? Like you're just trying to get the lightly spinning. You're not trying to hold it and stir it like this. It's not a teaspoon. It's meant to spin around that glass like there and just get the stuff moving. So that's the spoon. Oh, one other thing you can use it for. You probably won't see too many people use it that often, or you might not use it that often, but if you have a pour spout, this is oil because my pour spouts, I use the jigger for most of the stuff, but you can put that pour spout right up to the spoon and you'll see it and it'll run down. So if you're doing just like layered cocktails or something, sometimes you can get that to work that out for you too. So the next one we're going to go into is the strainers and what's important as a strainer. Now, my favorite strainer is the Hawthorne strainer. I'm sure you've seen this before. The Hawthorne strainer is meant to use in a shaking tin. So right on top there, and you just hold it, pour it out, right? Nice and easy peasy. There are a few other strainers. Julep strainer, which I don't have because it's typically used again with a mixing glass, is it's like a spoon with what looks like a colander, a few holes in the bottom. I don't really ever use that one. The only other strainer that I do use is going to be your fine mesh strainer. Now the fine mesh strainer is because the Hawthorne or the Julep is not going to get all those like real small, if you like muddled blackberries or something like that, it's not going to get everything out. So you're going to do your muddling. If you muddled something, you're going to use both strainers. You can put your Hawthorne on there, and then you're going to pour it through here, and this should catch all your blackberry seeds, stuff like that. And then if it starts to fill up a little, you're just going to give it a little tap right there in the end, and that should help shake that stuff out. So those are the important strainers for me. Now we have our shaking tin, which we were just talking about. Now typically a shaking tin, if you buy it at like a store or something like that, it's going to have that little lid with the little pour spouts right on top, and like maybe a top on that. I personally throw that away. I don't find it useful. I've got my Hawthorne, I've got my fine mesh strainer. That strainer is kind of useless. Now you're like, what do I shake it with then, James? Well, grab yourself a pint glass. Put that pint glass in there. I know it seems counterintuitive, but give it a little pop. Not gonna break anything. It's not gonna cause a problem. It's gonna hang out just fine. Now you're gonna pop that in there, give it a nice slap to make sure it's nice and firmly in there. And now when you shake, different people, if you need 2 hands, use 2 hands. I like to do it one hand. I keep two fingers on the glass, 2 fingers on the shaker. Now, you can shake a few different ways, but the most important thing is when you shake, you want to make sure that ice is hitting both sides. So give it a good shake, right? None of this. You want to make sure it's hitting both sides this part of the tin and the end of the tin. So give it a good shake, When you're getting it out, just give it a little pop like that, popped right out, see? Easy peasy. Now we have a few more things here. This, if you know what it is just a bartender's flat iron, speed key, 1,000 different words for popping bottles. But this funky end, now some of them are just circles, but this one has this little poof. Dip is to go down here, and you put that there, and that's to pop off those little pour spouts, make that nice and easy. So if you ever get those stuck on, that's what that's for. Now, you've all seen probably this wine key, and we all know how to use it. Now, this wine key, I don't always see people use it right, so if you know what it is and you know how to use it, just ignore me. But just so you know, there's, you're gonna start right here, you're gonna screw down, and you're gonna catch this first lip right here on the bottle, and then you're gonna pull up a little, and then it should pull up enough where you're gonna catch the second lip and pop it all the way off. So you wanna go all the way down though. Go all the way down on that corkscrew when you do it, and just get that first lip, and then the second lip, and then pop it right off. The little blade on the back is to help take that, that foil off around the wine bottle. Sometimes if you have it, it is easy. Just take that wine, they don't all do it, but you can just pop that foil, pull it right off. You don't even need to deal with all that junk. And then the final piece of important bar tool is gonna be your jigger. You're always gonna need a jigger. Now keep in mind, different jiggers have different sizes. This one in particular is a 1 ounce and 1.5 ounces. But you'll see 1/2 ounce, 1 ounce, 1 ounce, 2 ounce. Make sure you know, or if yours doesn't have any symbols on it, you know what the actual size of your jiggers are, because those do vary. So like I said, this one is 1 ounce and 1.5 ounces, but you have to make sure that your jigger is the same size, and that's just for measuring. If you can find them, I prefer the tall, thin jigger because the shape of it, you're gonna get more accuracy with that jigger. The wider, flat jigger, you get slightly less accuracy because obviously that wider top is gonna give a larger amount of alcohol if you're not right to the top. So those are the basics. I think we ran down everything. So thanks for participating. If you have any questions, DM us below. Have a good one.